Hey Aaron, what is your deal? Why are you blowing up my phone with all of these calls? What's the big idea here, huh? Don't you know that I'm at work right now? I can't have you calling me all the time like this, you know? I'm busy.
I know, but I only tried calling you just now because I thought that you were on your lunch break.
I don't care what you thought, or even that I am on break right now. I thought I told you not to bother calling or texting me at all while I'm at the office. Didn't I?
I'm really sorry, Chase. You know that I wouldn't have done this if it weren't an emergency, though. And, well, it's your dad. He fell and he broke one of his toes, so that's what I was trying to call to tell you about.
Wait, what? Are you kidding me? Did he really break another bone? What is the matter with him?
I guess that he was doing his morning stretches and accidentally ended up swinging his foot into the bedpost where he smashed his toe. We still haven't taken him to the doctors or anything like that yet, but he is stumbling around a lot now. He took a picture and sent it to me not that long ago, and the toe is looking really red and swollen.
Oh my gosh, it's like I'm surrounded by babies who can't do the slightest thing to take care of themselves. And at this rate, my dad is probably really gonna be senile soon.
Oh, come on, Chase. I don't think that you're being fair. I mean, these kinds of things happen from time to time. But anyways, with your dad's foot the way that it is right now, I don't really think that he's able to drive himself around. But he said that he has some errands and appointments for tomorrow morning. He was hoping that you might be able to drive him around just a little bit. I mean, you are off of work tomorrow, so you should be able to do that for your dad, right?
I mean, I guess I have the time, but it's not what I wanted to be spending my time off doing exactly.
Well, okay then. I'll call your dad and tell him that you should be just fine to drive him around. Is that alright?
Is this really what you wanted to talk to me about? This is the big emergency that you had to bother me at work to tell me? I really just can't believe you sometimes, Aaron.
Well, I don't know what you want me to say, but your dad asked me to check in with you if this would be okay. And since I didn't know what your schedule was going to be like for the weekend, I just needed to confirm with you right now.
I just don't understand why this conversation couldn't have waited until I was back from work. You could have just asked me then. Don't you realize that? Why did you think this was something that was so important, so huge, so vital, that you had to bother me while I was at work just to tell me about it?
Chase, please. Why are you being like this? The reason I told you now is because you've been coming home later and later from work recently. So I just wanted to get an answer as soon as possible so that I could get back to your dad. You realize that I did this for him, right? He injured himself and now he's waiting on an answer about your schedule. I was just asking a simple question.
It's not a simple question, and either way, it's not okay for you to be messaging me while I'm at work. The more that I have to talk to you, the more that I have to text you, the less that I'm able to focus on my work. And the one thing that I can't stand above all else in the world is when someone interrupts my work and keeps me from being able to focus on what I'm doing. Don't you know that?
Chase, please. I messaged you to tell you that your father had injured himself. Is this really how you should be reacting right now?
Well, is he gonna die? Is it fatal? Is this broken little toe gonna kill him or something? Because unless my dad is on the verge of death, I really don't care what excuse you have for yourself.
Okay then, you're really saying that you really don't want to hear anything at all unless it's an emergency? And just what even does constitute an emergency in your head if your own father breaking a bone doesn't?
I want you to tell me if there is a burglar breaking into our house, or if a tree branch has fallen through our roof, or if a meteorite blew up our house or something. But I don't need you coming to me about every single minuscule little health update from every single member of my family. Only message me if there is something seriously wrong. Do you understand me?
Oh, come on, Chase. Those are just extreme situations that would almost never, ever happen. And a meteorite? Really?
That's exactly what I'm trying to tell you, Aaron. I'm trying to tell you that I only want updates from thefts and acts of God. Do you get me?
Okay, geez. I get what you're saying to me, Chase. I'll be sure to be more selective of what I consider emergencies. I'm really, really sorry for bothering you while you're at work.
Hey, Aaron. Are you there? I just want to let you know that we got this month's schedule and I'll be leaving for a business trip starting from tomorrow. I'll just pack my bags on my own once I get back home from work tonight. So you don't need to worry about doing anything for me. Okay?
Are you sure about that? Do you know which bag you're going to take? The least I could do is lay out your suitcase or suitcases for you. Do you know how long it is that you're going to be away?
Yeah, I think that my company is sending me away for about a week. So I think that I'm probably going to need the largest size that we have. And since it's starting to get cold, I need to make sure and pack some winter clothes and that they fit in the suitcase and all.
I see. Well, okay then. I'll take out the suitcase and some of your coats. Is there anything else that you want me to get ready for you over here?
No. I'll just handle the rest when I get home. But there's just one little thing that I want you to be careful of when you're all alone and I'm away on my business trip.
Oh, sure. What did you have in mind? I guess I could try and do whatever it is you wanted from me while you're away.
Good. Then, while I'm away on this business trip, you have to promise me not to contact me for anything at all. And I do mean anything. Do you understand me? I mean it. I need to be focused while I'm out, and I just can't have you distracting me with every little thing. Do you got that?
Wait a second. So you don't want me to send you a single message or call the whole week that you're away? Are you serious?
That's right. I don't want you calling me at all the entire time that I'm away, and I'm super serious about this. I mean it. I just can't concentrate at all when you're bothering me.
But I don't get why I can't message you after you'd have gotten off of work. Like at night before you go to bed, or something like that.
Look, when I go away on a business trip, that means I could be on call at any time of the day, and that means morning or night, okay? And so if I hear you say to me or get a message talking about how you want me to come back home, it's going to make me want to work less. So until I get on the plane to get back home, I don't want to be getting even a single call or text from you at all. Do you understand me?
But you're going to be away for a whole week. That just seems like a very long time not to talk to each other at all.
It's not a big deal, and you shouldn't be trying to turn it into a big deal. Do you understand? This is the same as any other business trip that I've taken in the past. All right? And I'll tell you right now that if I do notice that you're calling or trying to text me while I'm away, I'm just going to ignore it. So there.
But what should I do if something happens here at home while you're away on your business trip?
I told you that the only reason you should ever be messaging me while I'm at work is if a literal boulder from space comes crashing down and lands in our living room. Do you not understand that yet?
Chase, it sounds like you're putting your work before even your own family when you ask like that.
You really do know how to get under my skin. Do you know that? I mean, really? Do you have any idea just how hard I'm going to be working while I'm away on this business trip?
You know that I've worked a full-time job before, don't you, Chase? I know what it means to work for a company.
Oh, please. What do you know about anything? You're nothing but a housewife. You don't work, and you don't have any right to tell me that you know what it is to do what I do every single day. All you do is hold me back and distract me from doing my work. And that's why I just can't have you messaging me while I'm doing my job.
You know, if you're really that easily distracted from your work all because of a couple of texts from me, then maybe you just have really weak concentration. I mean, really, we're husband and wife. The least we should be doing is sending each other a simple check-in text once a day. I mean, I know that you use your phone while you're at your desk because you talk about it to me at home. So I don't get why you've suddenly decided that it's so bad if I contact you while you're at work. I don't know where this has come from at all.
Look, I know that things might have been different in the past, but things have really picked up around the office and we're just really busy now. So that's why I don't have time to be putting up with all your nonsense. I don't even know why I'm having to explain all of these to you in the first place. You really just need to use your head and figure this out.
It's just that you've been coming home later and later, and we've had fewer and fewer chances to talk to each other, Chase. I don't know why, but it feels like you're trying to avoid having to communicate with me at all. And it feels like all the time you're just nodding along with whatever I'm saying, but you're not really listening.
I don't really see why we should need all that communication in the first place. I mean, what do we even have to talk about? Besides, you and I are newlyweds. I think that if there's anything at all that you want to talk to me about, we should just talk about it at home, because I can't talk to you at all while I'm at work.
I just don't get how you could say something like that to me. We're literally husband and wife. How could you say that we don't need to communicate with each other when we are literally married? Especially when you're spending less and less time at home and we're having fewer chances to be able to speak with one another. I'm sorry, but you have got to let me reach out to you at least a little bit while you're away on this business trip of yours.
I already told you that it's really going to throw me off if you do that and to leave me alone while I'm away on this business trip. Didn't I? Now look, I'm going to be going away for the week and I want you to respect my wishes and just leave me alone. Do you understand? And if you send me even a single message or call me even once while I'm away, then you are never, ever, ever going to be hearing from me again. Hey, Aaron. Are you there? I just wanted to know what you're doing right now. What is going on over there? I heard that there was a fire at my parents' house. Is that really true? I heard it from some relatives of mine, but I have to know if they were being honest with me.
Oh yes, it's the truth. I'm afraid that your parents' house has burned down to the ground and there isn't anything left but the foundation and ash.
Well, I heard that the fire happened last night. Is that really true? And why didn't you say anything about this to me at all? You should have told me that this happened.
What in the world are you talking about, Chase? You were the one who told me not to be bothering you about anything at all, no matter what it was, while you were away. So I did just that. Well, that, and I also didn't want to interrupt your vacation that you were taking with your mistress, that is.
Wait, what? What are you talking about? What trip with my mistress are you talking about? What mistress are you even talking about?
I mean, that is why you told me not to send you any messages at all while you were away, isn't that right? You didn't want me interrupting all the cheating on me that you were getting up to. And after how insistent you were that I not even send you a single text message, how could I not be but a little suspicious, you know? You even told me that if I tried to contact you at all while you were away, that you would never talk to me again. Don't you remember?
Are you serious? I don't have time for your stupid little games. My parents' house is burned to the ground and you want to talk about this petty nonsense? What is the matter with you?
I don't know what you want me to say to you about this, Chase. You were the one who told me that you only wanted to hear from me if a meteorite crashed through our roof, remember? But this was a fire and not a meteorite, so I thought better and followed your instructions for me.
But, I mean, that was just an example. I wasn't literally saying that that was the only thing that I wanted you to contact me for. Besides, where are you getting the notion that I'm cheating on you?
Well, I know that you're cheating on me because you lied about your business trip. It was just an excuse.
It wasn't an excuse at all. I was telling the truth. You have to believe me. I really did have to go on a business trip.
Are you sure? Because I heard that you were on vacation from your work. I tried calling your office to make sure that you really were doing what you said you were, and I was told that you were on vacation.
But, I mean, why in the world would you call my office? What would compel you to do that?
Actually, the truth is that it was your office that called me. The person on the other end sounded so apologetic for interrupting your vacation. That was when I first started to get really suspicious. But your coworker said he needed you to look at some important documents, but that you weren't answering your cell, and that's why I called at home. After the conversation, I called your office later to confirm that you really were on vacation and not on a business trip. That's how I know that you've been lying to me this whole time.
Well, whoever you were talking to on the phone had no idea what they were talking about at all. I really was on a business trip and I wasn't lying to you about anything.
I already told you that I did my due diligence after I got that call, didn't I? You do know that you left your tablet here, right? Well, you also left the window of the travel company that you booked your tickets and hotels through open as well. And the dates for that trip lines up perfectly with the dates that you told me you were going to be going away. Not only that, but I saw in your reservations that you had booked tickets and hotels for 2 people, 1 man and 1 woman.
How dare you touch my tablet without asking me first? What's the matter with you? That is a huge violation. Besides, I thought that I had a passcode on it.
Well, it wasn't a very difficult number to guess in order to get through it. Besides, I've seen you unlock your tablet plenty of times.
But, this can't be happening. This isn't right. You weren't supposed to find out like this.
Oh yes, I found much more evidence than that on your tablet. It's basically a testament to the affair that you've been carrying on behind my back. So now there's nowhere that you can go to. No lie that you can tell me that's going to change my mind. Just admit the truth, Chase.
Is this why you didn't tell me about my parents' house burning down? Just to get back at me for this? Was that your plan this whole time? What is the matter with you? I mean, really? How could you ever think that it was okay not to tell me that their house was burned down? I get that you're upset, but you're just acting childish and stupid at this point.
Well, what are you going to do about it while you're so far away, huh? How are you going to get back here and do anything about it?
Are you serious right now? What is the matter with you? Don't you realize that I'm the eldest son? I need to be knowing about these things. I need to be there to respond to the needs of my family. Not only that, but as the eldest son, that means that my parents' house is supposed to be my inheritance.
Well, since you weren't here to do anything about it, your little brother had to step up and be there instead. He was there within an hour of the fire being reported, so don't worry, there's no need for you to be here at all.
But I'm the eldest son. It's my job to be there. If I don't go, then what's the point of being the eldest son at all?
I don't know what you want me to tell you, Chase. If you wanted to be responsible for your family, then you should have been here. But instead, you had to go and take your trip to go and cheat on me, right? And you told me not to disturb you while you were away, so that's why I didn't bother saying anything.
Hey, Aaron, how are things going back there? I just got a message from my parents telling me not to even bother going home. I didn't think that they'd be so upset at me over all of this.
Well, it sounds to me like they wanted you to be there when the disaster started. But instead, your little brother, who lives even farther than we do from your parents, was the one to show up instead.
But it's not fair. That guy doesn't even do anything with his life. He has all the time in the world to go and be with my parents.
You don't know what you're talking about at all. Your brother works just as hard as you do. The only reason that you weren't here for when your parents' house caught on fire is because you're too busy going away to cheat on me. I mean, what is even the point of living close to your parents if you're going to do these kinds of things? You really are just the most useless son and husband. Do you know that?
Well, the only reason that I didn't get a ticket to come home right away is because of you. You should have told me what was happening.
Oh, please, Chase. Just think about it. Even if I had told you that your parents' house was on fire, the fact of the matter is that your brother was just closer. But you know, if you were gone for a legit reason, if you didn't lie about your business trip, then your parents might not be so upset with you. But instead, you just went away to cheat on your wife. And that's what has got everyone so upset.
But, I mean, Aaron, just how much of this did you talk to my parents about? Please, I really have to know.
I told them all about what you've been up to, of course. And you don't even want to know how let down your mom looked to find out that you were cheating on me. Then, both your parents started to get upset and really mad at you. They were going on and on about how you weren't there in their time of need for them.
But that's not fair. I mean, they can't really get mad at me for this, right? It's not like I could control the timing of anything that's going on at all.
Are you really trying to say that none of this is your fault at all? You literally made up a fake business trip so that you could go and cheat on me? You weren't here for any legitimate reason at all. The only reason that you weren't there for your family when they wanted you there was because you were out being selfish.
But, I mean, come on. It's just a little bit of cheating. Surely it isn't worth getting this upset about, right?
Just a little bit of cheating? Did you actually just send that message to me? Are you being real? You do realize that you betrayed your wife, right? The mother of your children? Are you really going to try and just write that off? In fact, I have a message for you from your father. He says that it's obvious that you haven't thought about your actions at all. He doesn't want anything to do with you at all. I mean, do you realize that you still haven't even reached out to your parents to ask if they're okay after all of this? The only thing that seemed to upset you about this whole ordeal is that the house that you were supposed to inherit has burned down and now you're not going to get anything. And you should know that I've told your parents that much as well.
Why did you have to tell them that? Couldn't you have spoken up for me just a little bit more? Come on, throw me a bone here.
Why? Why would I ever in a million years feel a need to do that for you, huh? I mean, you're just such a piece of work, do you know that? I really don't even know what you want me to say to that. But anyways, your parents have another message for you. They tell you to not even bother coming home and that they are going to completely support me if I choose to divorce you.
You mean my parents really said that about me? Are you serious? And wait, you're gonna divorce me over this?
Of course I am. You cheated on me and you've been nothing but unapologetic about it. You're a huge jerk. After that, my soon-to-be ex-in-laws had to use up all of their savings to rebuild their house. Of course, this meant that Chase was truly going to get nothing through his inheritance at all. Chase tried to offer to contribute money to his parents to help them rebuild, but they had told him that they didn't even want a single penny from him at all. In fact, they ended up cutting him out of their lives completely. Afterwards, Chase and I started the divorce process. I also sued him for his affair, which meant that between alimony and the lawsuit, I got quite a hefty payout from him. Chase kept begging me not to leave him, but I wasn't in the mood to put up with him at all. Eventually, I finally had to block him on everything. Only then did my life finally start to return to normal. I really haven't kept up with Chase at all since then, but I hear that he's not doing well. True or not, I really just don't care. All I want now is to move on and forget all about him. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.
Hey there, Irene. I just wanted to thank you again for today.
No, thank you for suggesting such a wonderful place to meet. I really enjoyed our lunch. I think we should use that restaurant again when there's something to celebrate.
I'm glad that you liked it so much. I was hoping that you would. It's just such a cute place and the food is really good. And thank you again so much for getting the bill. Please tell your husband Jim that I said thank you and that I hope he had fun.
Well, of course we were going to pay. I mean, it was our son's birthday today after all. And it's not that often that we can all get together. Especially at a place like that restaurant. It really only is a place for special occasions, you know.
Yes, I agree. We don't go there often, but when we do, it's always a special treat. Not to mention that view. I could just stare out the window for hours overlooking the city.
You know, I've actually heard that a lot of celebrities who comes to town end up dining there.
Oh, really? I don't think that I knew that, but I guess I really expect nothing less for a place like that.
I know, right? You really do have to be someone special to get into this place. In fact, I have to say that I was a little surprised they didn't say anything about what you were wearing. I mean, it was kind of embarrassing having to be seen with you all night like that.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize that you had a problem with what I was wearing. It was just a dress that I really liked, but I didn't think that there was anything wrong with it.
I just think that you could have chosen something a little more appropriate for the occasion, don't you? Maybe next time we go out for something like that, you can choose a color that stands out less. Just something nice, but still low-key.
I really was trying to think about what would be okay to wear at the restaurant when I was picking out my clothes, though.
Well, it's clear that you didn't think hard enough on the matter.
Yes, I suppose you're right about that.
Of course I'm right. I'm the one pointing out your little faux pas right now. The whole dress just looked really cheap and gaudy. Surely you have something better to wear than that, right?
I really don't know what to say. I'm so sorry that it's upset you this much, but that was a rather expensive dress.
And just how expensive are we talking here? I bet it couldn't have been more than a couple $100s, right? I don't know what it is about this generation, but everyone seems to be jumping on the fast fashion trend. It really is just pitiful. I remember when I was young, people used to actually get dressed up to go out, and everyone just looked fabulous. But I guess that views change with the times. Maybe it's just the economy.
I don't really think that it's the economy in like a short time kind of way. But it is true that there is just a lot more fashion out there that's both cheap and looks good.
That's exactly the problem. Everyone thinks that if clothes just look good enough, that they can justify spending money. But no one these days has any idea what good taste even is. It really is just sad.
Okay, well, I really don't think that the dress that I chose to go out in today was all that bad.
And just who do you figure that, huh? What makes you think that what you wore was okay?
I guess it just looked good in my eyes.
I see what's going on here. It all makes sense now. You don't have any fashion sense because your family were all poor, isn't that right? That's why you have no idea about what looks good and what doesn't.
Are you being serious? I really don't even know what to say to that.
Well, how about you just be more careful next time, okay? But I guess there's not even a point to saying that to you, since you wouldn't know fashion if it hit you in the face. Basically, if you're not spending tons of money on it, then it's not fashion, got it? But judging from your wardrobe, I would guess that all your clothes are hand-me-downs, no?
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to stop you right there. My family isn't poor, and I'm not sure where you got the idea that they are.
But of course they are. What are you talking about? I mean, your dad works in a factory, doesn't he? I can't imagine that people with that kind of job gets paid much.
He was able to send me to college on his salary, thank you very much. So I'm just saying that I really don't think that we're as poor as you might think.
But I'm sure that you still had to take out student loans to go, didn't you? And that means that your dad wasn't actually rich enough to send you to school. And that means that, just like I said, your family is poor.
I'm not trying to say that my family had or has as much as yours, but your husband does own his company after all.
I don't understand why you can't just admit that your family is poor and have it all be settled. Your parents were poor and clearly it rubbed off on you. It's simple.
Is that really how you think the world works?
Don't you worry about a thing, Carmen. I am going to be sure to train you in what you'll need for next time we all go out. I'll make sure that you're wearing something appropriate so that not everyone in the restaurant will be able to tell how poor you really are. After all, not a daughter-in-law of mine should be going around getting mistaken for some poor person. Hello there, Carmen. I know that the end of the year is coming up, and I was wondering if you and Kent had any plans.
Actually, I think that we were just going to try and do something rather low-key this year. So we were thinking that we would either go to your house or my parents' house and spend a few nights there.
I see. Well, you go to your parents and then make sure and visit us soon after. We have some very expensive beef here with your name on it. I was thinking that we could all cook it up and eat it together. So plan to spend a night at our place as well. We should be spending this time as a family after all.
Oh, okay. Well, then it sounds like we won't be staying with my parents, but we can just pay them a visit. And you really didn't have to go out of your way to do that for us, you know.
Oh, don't worry about it at all. My husband just thought that you two might like to be treated to some fancy cooking. And of course, it's not often that someone like you has probably gotten to try food like this. So we just thought it was a good opportunity.
Well, I am very happy that you're willing to treat us to such a nice meal, so if it's really okay with you, then I guess we can go to your house.
Yes, please do that. And also make sure that you wear something nice for the evening, okay?
Do you mind being a little more specific about what you mean by that? I just know that you have a very specific idea about this.
Well, actually, on the start of New Year, my family has a tradition of dressing up and walking around the neighborhood. So just make sure that you put on something nice for when we go and do that. Otherwise, you'll stick out like a sore thumb on our walk.
Oh, I see. I didn't realize that was a thing that some people did. But if that's the case, then I'll make sure and wear something nice for the occasion.
And by that, I mean that I don't want to see you in an ugly fast fashion, do you understand? That would be just humiliating.
Well, that's why I was asking if you could be a little more specific about what it was that you wanted me to be wearing.
Just pretend like you're going to a wedding. Your outfit should basically be on that level. And try to avoid any of those flashing colors that you seem to love, okay?
Okay, then. I think that I can handle that.
Carmen, where are you? We're just about to start grilling some of the meat and then we'll be eating soon.
I'm at a laundromat right now, if you really must know.
I really don't understand what's gotten into you. You came all this way to celebrate the new year with your husband's family, and instead you run away to go do your laundry?
What are you talking about? You were the one who stained my dress the moment we showed up.
Oh, I know. I really am so sorry that I did that. I am sure that you are so proud of that outfit that you put together.
You spilled your coffee all over the dress, and I have no idea how I'm going to get the stains out.
I hope you know that my hand just slipped. But anyways, it's obvious what a cheap dress that one was as well. So if you can't get the stain out, then you can always just throw it away.
What makes you think this dress was cheap? It wasn't cheap at all.
What in the world are you talking about? It's obvious how cheap that dress was. I only had to look at it to see how low quality it really was.
You really have no idea what you're talking about, do you? This dress costs $40,000.
Excuse me? Are you being serious? How in the world does a dress cost that much? And how could someone like you afford a dress like that? You really should know better than to lie to your own mother-in-law.
I'm not lying to you, Irene. I just gave you the real price for this dress. In fact, I'll have you know that this dress is an important heirloom from your mother-in-law.
Wait, what? Are you telling me that dress belonged to my husband's mother?
You mean that you don't recognize it at all? I thought that you would have. She told me she'd worn it to family weddings in the past.
Did Agatha really give you that dress? But this isn't making any sense. Why in the world do you have her dress?
Well, before we came down here, Kent said that we should stop by his grandmother's place. We were all talking, and he mentioned about going out for the family walk, and that's when Agatha offered me the dress. She was actually really eager for me to have it and to wear it on this walk. So I hope you can imagine my shock when you just threw your cup of coffee all over it the moment I showed up.
But I mean, this isn't fair. I had no idea at all that that dress belonged to Agatha.
Well, now you do. Aren't you glad you asked about it before you splashed me with coffee? Oh, wait.
Oh no. This is really, really bad. What am I going to do?
Well, I don't really know how much there is to even do. After all, it was really obvious that you threw the coffee on me on purpose.
I didn't do it on purpose. It really was an accident. My hand just slipped. That's all, I swear.
Whether it was an accident or on purpose, I really don't think that it changes the fact that it's your fault. So I really do think that you should think about what you want to do, because Kent is here with me and he is freaking out. We're here trying to see if they can even get these stains out.
Yes, we have to get the coffee out of the dress right away. I'm sure that a dry cleaning place would be able to do that for you.
Well, we've actually been driving around looking for one that's open, but they've all been closed so far.
Oh no, this is really bad. Hold on, let me try and make some phone calls. I might be able to make something work out.
I don't really think that anything is going to work. Besides, it's New Year's Day, and I don't think anything is open, really.
You can't just give up. We've got to do something. This is a $40,000 dress that we're talking about. We have to do something to get those stains out.
Oh, I agree. The stains do need to come out, but I don't think it's going to happen. So I guess that the only thing we can do now is to take the dress back to Agatha and tell her about what happened.
No, you can't do that, please. Just whatever you do, don't do that. Just hold on a little bit longer, okay?
I don't see why we should do that when the fact is that you made this mess. Why should we wait and hide what you've done from your own mother-in-law? What would be the point?
Just wait, okay? How about you two just come back here to my house and you let me try and take a crack at it, okay?
What do you think you're going to be able to do that we haven't already tried? Besides, you were the one that made the mess in the first place, so I don't really think you should be let anywhere near the dress. I just wouldn't want to take a risk with you at all.
But you can't take it to Agatha, please. Whatever you do, don't do that. Just come back here and we'll work something out.
I'm afraid that I can't do that. I have too much respect for Agatha to lie to her like that. So we got to Agatha's house and we explained to her what happened to the dress and how the stains were your fault. She had nothing to say to us and didn't blame us at all for what happened.
I see. Well, then I think that maybe I should go and talk to Agatha myself then.
I don't think that going there and talking to her is going to make a difference for you.
What makes you say that? I have to go and see her so that I can apologize. In fact, I think I'm going to go now.
Well, you should know that Agatha said she didn't even want to see you. I think if you went to her place, it would just make her more upset. And since it's still New Year's and all that, maybe you should just let her enjoy the holiday.
Well, what about you and Kent? Are you both still at Agatha's house?
Yes, we're both still here. Actually, Agatha asked that we both stay over for dinner. So I'm sorry, but we won't be able to make it back to your house in time for the special meal.
This can't be happening. This isn't right. This isn't how my New Year's Day was supposed to go.
You know, I think that if you came ready to really apologize and not just make excuses for yourself, that it might be okay. Of course, Agatha would have to let you into her house for that to happen first. Although I suppose that I can't blame her for wanting to keep you away. Why should she have to deal with you and what you've done on a nice day like this?
Carmen, you have no idea how sorry I am about the dress. Yes, I did it on purpose, but it was just a little joke. I didn't mean to take things too far.
Aha, so you admit that you did it on purpose then?
Of course, but I didn't think the coffee would make such a stain. And I didn't think that I was spilling it on such an expensive dress.
So then you've thought about what you've done and realized that it was wrong to do?
Yes, of course I do. I realized that I should have never been acting this way and that I was being ridiculous. So can you please tell Agatha just how sorry I am for all of this? I need Agatha to know that I realized what I did was wrong, and I need her to forgive me.
Well, it sounds to me like that should be between you and her. I don't feel like helping you, and quite frankly, I'm getting a little sick of dealing with you.
But you're the only person that I can go to for help with this now. Please, I tried messaging my son and he just left me on read.
Well, that would probably be because Agatha isn't the only one upset about this. Your husband and son are upset as well. You have no idea how much time we spent driving around looking for a dry cleaners that would be open today. You've done nothing but cause trouble for everyone. Why do you think that you should be forgiven?
Well, I can't have Agatha being mad at me. She's the most powerful and influential person in the whole family. If she's against me, then I'm basically done for in this family. Please, you have to help me.
You keep saying that, but you haven't given me a single reason why I should help you.
How can you say that? You're my daughter-in-law, of course. You should help me.
That's not good enough. You were constantly putting me down for what I was wearing. You even made fun of my father and called my family poor. Why should I do anything for you?
You're right. I never should have said those things, even as a joke. It wasn't right of me at all.
Even if I believed that they were jokes, I didn't find them funny at all.
I thought that you'd be able to see through it all. I thought that you had a different sense of humor is all.
You know, somehow I still just don't believe you. I think that you were always the only one having fun when you were making fun of me. But anyways, I'm not going to waste any more time today talking to you. I have a lovely dinner with my husband and his grandmother to enjoy.
Wait, no, you can't just leave me like this. Please, I'm begging you. You need to help me.
Hello, Irene. I just realized that I didn't get to say Happy New Year's to you.
Oh, Carmen, thank goodness. Thank you so much for the message. I was wondering when I was going to hear from you.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not here to talk or anything like that. I just know that if I didn't do this, I'd never hear the end of it from you. By the way, how did things go with Agatha?
Well, I went to her house and I apologized to her not that long ago, actually.
So then everything is okay between you and her now?
Well, look, I think that I just need to start by saying how sorry I am to you. I should have never done what I did with the coffee. I've been nothing but rude to you and you really didn't deserve that.
I suppose that Agatha told you that you should try and give me a real apology then?
Well, yes, she did. But it wasn't just her. Even my husband told me that I needed to apologize to you. He told me that he'd leave me if I didn't.
I see. So then did you go and talk to Agatha together with your husband?
They were both just so upset with me. They asked me what I was thinking and how I could shame the family like this.
Yeah, it sounds to me like they really wanted nothing to do with your vendetta against me.
Well, I think you should also know that I've agreed to pay for all the cleaning fees on the dress. But even so, it wasn't enough and I've been thrown out of the house.
So then you've been kicked out of your house even though it's snowing right now?
That's right. I've been standing out here on my own for about 2 hours now.
Wow. Well, it sounds to me like you're in quite a bit of trouble then, aren't you?
This isn't funny. I really don't know what I'm going to do now.
You know, I actually heard that you and your husband were accepting money from Agatha. I even heard that you borrowed something like $1 million from her.
Well, yes. I suppose the total might be that high after the decades that she's been helping us.
Well, I guess that explains why your husband would be so upset with you. And no wonder why he kicked you out of the house after you disrespected his mother like that.
But I don't know what I'm going to do from now on. I have no idea where I'll be able to go. Can I stay at your house for a bit?
Why would you want to do that? What would be the point?
Well, you're just the only person that I can go to now. I don't have anyone else. Please, can't I just stay with you for a little bit?
Hold on a second. Let me ask your son.
Please. It's so cold out here. I just need to sit inside for a little bit.
So Kent said that your husband should let you back in as long as you beg him for forgiveness, and he also says he doesn't want you here.
So that's it then? You're just going to leave me out here? You're not going to help me at all? I'm desperate here.
Well, you've isolated yourself. I would just do what Kent says and beg your husband not to leave you for this. But otherwise, nobody is interested in helping you out, so why don't you just leave us all alone? After that, Agatha decided never to talk to Irene, which means that she essentially became persona non grata at family reunions. Irene did her best to negotiate with Agatha, but she wasn't having it. When Irene did go to talk to Agatha, Agatha made rude comments about her clothes and put her down the same way that Irene had done to me earlier. She was so shocked that she went back home completely humiliated. After that, her husband ended up divorcing her, although nobody in the family could blame him. But with Irene out of the picture, I've been able to attend many more family gatherings without feeling pressure to dress up a certain way, and I couldn't be happier. Obviously, this isn't how I wanted things to end with my mother-in-law. I tried really, really hard to make things work, but Irene just wouldn't change her ways. After all of this happened, however, I was pleased to learn about how many other people in the family were getting tired of putting up with her. It may seem like a very strange thing to bond with people over, but losing Irene has brought us all closer together as a family. Well, it brought all but Irene closer, I should say. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.